News, glorious news. We're anxious to hear it. What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, all the fish in the sea, all the furniture in the house, all the carrots in the refrigerator? It is I, your favorite idiot, the OGGM, broadcasting live from a beautiful Saturday, sunny spring morning here at Site B. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning on this, the 27th day of January, 2024. Let's raid. Let's go to some other channels that do kind of the same thing I do. Some of them need love. Some of them have important stories to share. But yeah, let's give some love to other channels and hope that in return, they give some love to us. Let's share some of the news other channels are doing besides myself, show you where I get a lot of my inspiration and news from, and stories that I choose not to carry because I think other people do those stories better. And some of these guys need, obviously, subscribers and support, and others are doing just fine. It's just kind of like giving back. Let's say it's giving back. I believe in the VTuber community, the Twitch community, they call it having a raid, raiding somebody else's channel, looking at somebody else's content and seeing the stories and the news they're covering. And some of these guys are news stories I could have covered, but I chose not to. But yeah, so first one is my good buddy, Grim Jim. Grim Jim just recently posted a very disturbing story regarding some of the harassment that he has suffered in the tabletop role-playing game community, and some of the harassment other people have suffered, and that can be found on his Grim Streams, which has 471 subscribers. Help him get Grim Streams up to 1,000. He just did a huge video story in regards to online harassment. He has had the whole Zach Smith, Mandy Morbid thing, some other things, Gamergate, a huge article, that even if partially any of the information is true, is eye-opening about how basically the tabletop role-playing games community, number one enemy is the tabletop role-playing game community. So head on over to Grim Streams, link down below, check out his videos on the secret harassment mob as he talks about it. And it's a story that needs to be covered, but it's not really an area that I will cover because that's kind of more his thing. So yeah. Next up, we have my good friend Tom over at Tabletop Tap Room, your number one source for everything that is going on with the new TSR story, the Justin Lanasa story. And he just posted a video a day ago about misconduct and future lawsuits that are facing Justin Lanasa and new TSR. So if you want any of the information regarding the non-stop legal mumbo jumbo going on between our good friend Justin Lanasa and new TSR and Eric Tanker and Tom and Wizards of the Coast, and just the stuff that is coming out of this. Again, if even half of this is true, wow, you couldn't make this stuff up. But misconduct, witnesses trying to bribe other witnesses, jury tampering. I mean, this is just a, it's a soap opera. It's something you would see on a TV show, an episode of Law and Order, but no, it's all real. It's all going on in this never-ending court case. So if you want to find out the latest of the new TSR, Justin Lanasa, Wizards of the Coast stuff, head on over to Tabletop Tap Room, link down below. Give Tom a subscribe. He's only got 643 subs. Speaking of channels that I highly respect, and channels that I go to get my information from. And usually one of the few people who gets to the stories before I do. I think in my entire history of doing news, I've only beaten him to a story twice. And that, of course, is the leader of the OSR, as he has been called, Eric Tanker, over at Tanker's Tavern, nonstop videos, role plays, interviews. He's researching what's going on with Wizards of the Coast and some of the positions that are being hired for, and the transition of Wizards of the Coast from the physical to the digital. He is up to date. He's always good. He's got some inside sources. He's been around, I think, longer than I have. He's a just really well-informed, knowledgeable member of the gaming community. Apparently, he is the head of the OSR. At least that's what he's been labeled by some of the people who troll him. And he always has good insight. And he's definitely one of the sites that I go to on a daily basis to see if there's a story I missed. And usually, like I said, I think I've only beat him to a story twice in the entire time I've been aware of him. So there you go. Tanker, if you haven't checked him out, check his channel out again. Always needs a lot of love and support and always has stories that are worth. Another person who does some really good stuff and covers some things I don't cover and is definitely more well-spoken than I am. That's DM Kurt. DM Kurt only has 212 subscribers. Let's help this guy get up to 1,000. Give him some love. Link down below. As you know, DM Kurt is the individual who keeps sending me the mystery boxes of food that I do on the food adventures videos that I do every now and then. Apparently, GM Kurt is either trying to feed me or kill me. And I'm hoping, if we help him hit 1,000 subs, he'll stop trying to kill me, because yesterday I tried rhubarb custard. Yeah, that was just weird. Just two things you don't really think of when you think of a candy. But yeah, so 212, he talks about, he does reviews. He talks about gaming with kids. He talks about Castles and Crusades. Always a good source of news and information. And again, let's help him get to 1,000 subs. So, maybe he'll stop trying to kill me with these mystery boxes of food. I think, give him a little love. Okay, moving on. Of course, we got to go. DM Bloodworth. DM Bloodworth is another individual who, even though I don't agree with him all the time, I highly respect. He has a lot of amazing insight in the community. Now, he's got 3.1 subs, so he doesn't really need as much love as I do, but still, he's always got good stories. He's always got good things to talk about. If you've never checked out his channel, I highly check it out. He does a lot of great stuff with the Castles and Crusades stuff and reviews and interviews and stuff like that. And he remains pretty apolitical, and he's usually a very positive source, and he's been trolled and had some people say some not nice things about him, but he always manages to come out ahead, and he's running the Castles and Crusades game I'm currently in online, and he's able to handle about 10 players online, which is a feat that should be respected. That's too many players for me. I barely know what's going on in the game, but the fact that he can consistently keep track of 10 players and what they're doing while dealing with the inadequacy of Discord and Roll20 and 10 different voices trying to speak to him at one time through Discord, which makes the situation double. I mean, it's hard enough being a DM for more than 6 players at a table. Now imagine being a DM for 10 players on Discord, which makes just everything 100 times worse, and then also dealing with Roll20. So hats off to him, and he always has good stories. He's another one I always go to when I want to find out what's going on in the gaming community. And he's another one who has dealt with some of the same things I'm dealt with, especially in regards to Condor DM and J. Scott Garby and some of the other trolls out there. So yeah. Another great source is Diversity and Dragons. Again, this is somebody who I don't always agree with on the what the stuff he talks about, and his politics and mine are completely different, but he has really improved the quality of his content, his editing, the way he uses music, the research he does. He's already over 2,000 subs, so give him some love. Check out his stuff. He leans a little bit more conservative than I do, so he has a different insight. He covers a lot of news and stuff I don't cover. So again, let's raid this guy and check out his site. Maybe he'll reciprocate and send some of that love my way, help me get the 2,000 subs magic. So yeah, again, just, pointing out some of these channels that I visit and I respect. I don't always I'm sure these guys don't agree with me. In fact, I think most of them think I'm an idiot. And I don't always agree with a lot of them, but there's, as long as they're not too outrageous, they're good sources, and a lot of them cover stuff that I don't cover. And I think those of us who focus more on news need to help each other out, and let people know what's going on in the gaming community and offer different insights. So this is a guy, and the quality of his stuff has improved 1,000-fold. So if you ever get a chance to check him out, head on over to Double D, my good friend Double D, and check out his stuff. Yeah. Another one who always needs more love is our good friend Venger. There's a name that many of you might know. He's only got 1,022 subs. He just kickstarted a new thing. Definitely could use some love and support. He's got a new product out there. Again, politically, we are extremely on opposite sides of the fence. And there's plenty of things that have come out of Venger's mouth over the years that I completely 100% disagree with. But as a gamer, as a content creator, as somebody who's been able to make a life and a professional on this and is recognized in the industry, whether that be bad or good. I mean, most people have heard the name Venger Satanis. That's this guy. So yeah, a lot of love for this guy. He's got a great sense of humor. There's a lot of things that we have in common, a lot of things we don't have in common. He's a family man, blah, blah, blah. He's always got good stories, good insight, and he's always pushing his little own products to help him out. And he's another one I support, and maybe he will, send some of that love my way. But again, just check him out. If you don't like him, yeah, each to their own, okay? Each to their own. Now, of course, we got to go to some of the ones who are a little bit larger, but still sites that I regularly go to, regularly respect. Obviously, my ongoing non-existing dust-up between myself and Steven regarding tabletop role-playing game news and Wizards of the Coast and the things that we agree on and disagree on, and how we disagree on what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro is going to do. As you know, Steven and Mark were the first to let us know about the OGL controversy last year, and they had a lot of insight into it that nobody else was able to get to. They knew people who were directly and indirectly involved. They dropped the bomb 24 hours before anybody else did, and they're always, at the cusp of the tabletop role-playing game news. They're another site I constantly go to look for stories. And then, I'll make fun of them. They'll make fun of me. So just got to support my friend Steven. And I got to just reach out to these other guys and go, hey, check them out. They got the good stuff to talk about, Is there anybody else? Another one is the character sheet at comicbook.com. This is another one I constantly resource. This is another one I constantly comment on. This is another one that I interchange information with. These guys got 30.5 subs. They really don't need that much love, but maybe they'll send some love my way. And there's lots of times when they say things that I completely agree with, and we feed off of each other's news. And there's lots of times when we disagree with. They're very apolitical. They rarely insult anybody. They're just generally good dudes who have a lot of interesting things to say in regarding to the tabletop role-playing game news community. So, just definitely another one. Again, let's just raid these guys. Let's just get these guys some support, and maybe they'll send some of the support my way. And it's a good chance to give back to the tabletop role-playing game community, and to people who do the same thing I do, and that's news. And of course, if we're going to talk about the news, and we're going to talk about the site that I get the news from, ENWorld. Morris and ENWorld. That has always been my number one source for tabletop role-playing game news. If you do not check these guys out, I highly recommend them. I visit them 3 times a day. They're always my starting point every morning when I start doing my tabletop role-playing game news. Morris claims that I don't give him enough credit in one of the few times we talk to each other. So just again, every day I wanted to just say how grateful I am for the amount of work these guys do, and for their channel, and for the fact that they let me, go to their channel and steal their content and then regurgitate it back to you guys. So yeah, nothing but love and support for ENWorld and their product line. As you know, they're the creators of the Level Up 5e 25th edition advanced role-playing game, which is my people's champ of the 5e retro clones, my Chad Gable, this is the guy, he's just their workhorse. They avoided all the controversy. They just keep putting out product, and their product line does not get enough recognition. So if you're looking for an alternative to Wizards of the Coast 5e, you got these guys to check out, or you got Kobold. Okay, so these are a bunch of sites that I support and stuff like that, and news stories that I support. So check them out, each and every one of these guys, if you have a chance. There is one more, as you know, who, two more, as you know, who regularly farm my content. Well, at least one, and have made several negative comments on my over the years. And I noticed that once again, it's about that time of year where people are rediscovering this individual and making multiple comments about his stuff. So yeah, I think y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't, it's our good friend J. Scott Garraby. About every time around this time this year, people seem to rediscover his channel and start commenting on his rather unusual takes. And I'm well aware that he is still commenting on my stuff, despite the fact he told me he wouldn't, and still farming my content. And that's fine. That's a fight I don't want to have. I know a lot of people talk about him, and again, I really wish they wouldn't. So that's my public service announcement for the year. Again, this time of year, just leave him alone. And that's about it. Is there anybody I missed? If there is, please let me know. If you've got tabletop role-playing game news you want to share, or if you want me to interview you, or if you want to interview me, let me know. Give a little love to Venger. Give a little love to Grim Jim. Give a lot of love to Tom. Please give love to DM Kurt, because maybe if he hits 1,000, he'll stop trying to kill me. Rhubarb custard. I mean, God. And I know he was looking at sandwiches in a can, but he couldn't find them. So he was trying to find and send me sandwiches in the can, which I would have eaten. Sandwiches in a can. Just, yeah, no, okay, blah. But I would have eaten it, because these are the kind of things I do. So yeah, Venger, always could use a little more love. DM Bloodworth, always could use some more love. Grim Jim, going through a hard time. This harassment thing is definitely bringing up some bad memories for both him and myself as a victim of harassments in the tabletop role-playing game community. So yeah, and again, if you've got a channel that you want me to give a shout out to on Saturdays, let me know. If you've got something you want to talk about, let me know. This is your channel. I'm here for you guys. I don't get anything out of this other than your love and support, and then occasionally a couple pennies of YouTube money. So please like, please share, please subscribe. Please give this channel some love, and please give the other channels some love. And I know, wait, there's somebody I'm forgetting, because you knew I was going to get there. You didn't think I was going to pass this up, right? There is one more channel, one more site I think you should give a little love to if you've got a few extra minutes of your day. Maybe you've got some tabletop role-playing game money you want to spend, and you're not quite sure where to spend it. If you're not sure which company you should support in 2024, I'm just going to take an extra minute here out of your time to maybe casually remind you that my product is available for sale on the Red Room site and on Lulu.com. The soft cover copies of the Wretched Vigilantes trilogy are available. The PDFs of the Wretched Vigilantes trilogy are available. If you haven't checked out the Red Room yet, check them out. The content that they put out is amazing. I don't always agree with their politics, but just the amount of research. I mean, if you guys know, I always say the GURPS books are like the best books to get for research on subjects, even if you don't play GURPS. Same thing with these. The amount of research on the subjects these guys have done, and the amount of information each of the books give you, even if you never use the system, the information is worth having, and it's relatively inexpensive. And of course, if you support them, you support me. Just saying, not trying to rub my own back here, but yeah. Anyways, that's it for today. Take care. Have a great day. My voice sounds weird. Talk to you soon.